Hal, you come to work every day at a stadium that's named for your dad, with a statue of your dad outside the stadium. How impactful is that?
Well, it was very meaningful. He was obviously a huge part of this organization, and you know, I came right out of college, started working for the Yankees, and really had him for a lot of years as a boss. And you know, it means a lot to all of us. It means a lot to our family. It really meant a lot when the city here and the county commission, you know, agreed to name the field after him. That's quite an honor.
I'm sure there were dozens, if not hundreds, of life lessons that your father taught you, but is there one that stands out, something that was so important to him that you still hear it in your head when you think about him?
Yeah, you know, and it's actually something that his dad passed on to him, and it has to do with charitable giving, you know. And my grandfather always said, and my dad always said to me, that if more than two people know about it, it's not charity. And the idea being, should be the individual that wants to help and the person that's being helped or the organization that's being helped, and there's no reason to advertise. There's no reason for anybody else to know.
When you talk about the Yankees, the name Steinbrenner is so synonymous with it. Almost your entire life, since 1973, the Yankees have owned the team. What does that mean for you, for your immediate family, to have that connection?
Well, it's great. It's great for my siblings and I, of course, but it's also great for our kids. You know, I have nieces and nephews now working in the organization, and when my kids get a little bit older, they probably will too. It's great to have a multi-generational business, and when it's the New York Yankees on top of that, it's pretty spectacular.
When you're watching a baseball game, we have all seen footage of your dad watching games, and I used to be in the press box next to your dad, and he was watching every pitch. You're watching a baseball game. Are you relaxed? Are you animated? And what are the things you're looking for?
You know, I guess it depends on the time of year. It depends on the magnitude of the game, of course, but I tend to try to hold my passion inside. So whereas if I'm at home watching it in front of a TV, I could act completely different than I would if I had other people around and all that. I try to control my emotions, Jack, not throw stuff, things like that. But you know, you get very passionate about it. I'm a fan. I'm a part of fan. I mean, I have a job to do, of course, but it's hard not to be a fan too.
When the 2013 season ends without a playoff spot, we all know that your dad had always said, if you don't win a championship, it's an unsuccessful season. So when you don't make the postseason, what is the off-season like for yourself, for the Yankee organization, as you say to yourself, we have to turn this around?
Well, look, we knew we had a lot of work to do. We knew we let the fans down. We know what's expected of us. We expect that of ourselves. And it was tough. Having said that, as I look back at the team and what they accomplished, giving 28, 29 DLs, we can talk about the injuries now. It's not an excuse. You know, we're getting ready to start a new season. I mean, it was a bad year for injuries, and it had an impact. There's no way it couldn't. But you know, a lot of the players stepped up. Some of the young kids stepped up, and the team really hung in there, you know, till almost the end. And I was there are things when I look back at last year that I'm proud of. Having said that, the end result is unacceptable. So we knew we had a lot of work to do. And the minute the season was over, we got into it. You
got into it. We're in 2014 spring training right now. Yep. About $500 million in player investments. As that process is going through, and you're the man who is saying, okay, yes to this, yes to that, what is that like to have to make those financial decisions?
Well, look, we have a pretty good track record, Jack, which I've said in the past, of if money comes off the payroll, we put it back into the team. That's what everybody should be doing. But that's what my dad always did. It's what our family always will do. So we had a lot of money come off the payroll last year. We put a lot of it back into the team, and I think we have a better team for it.
Hal Steinbrenner, as a kid, who was your favorite player?
Probably, I had a few, but Lou Piniella certainly, because he lived in Tampa and just a great guy and a great Yankee. Thurman Munson, you know, who wouldn't, and Willie Randolph was always one of my favorites. Probably the top three.
I remember you were at a game where Michael Kay interviewed you and asked you for the scouting report on Hal Steinbrenner, the baseball player. What kind of a baseball player were you?
Not very good. Couldn't hit a curveball for anything. Just not great. But I tried, and I enjoyed it, and I loved it.
How long did you let yourself continue to play baseball before you said, I'm going to go into other interests?
Well, I played through high school. And I really enjoyed it. And then in college, you know, George was a big track and field guy, so was his grandfather, one of the best in the world, his father. And so I ran hurdles in college, and I liked it. It was fun to do something new. 400-meter hurdles is not a fun race to run. It's tiring, but gets you in good shape, and a lot of discipline involved. And so it was something that was good. But I played through high school.
You're a licensed pilot also. Where did the interest in aviation come from?
Just since I was a kid. I mean, if some kids are building model trains, some kids are building model cars or ships, I was always planes.
and building models. A lot of people build models. Not everyone turns that into becoming a pilot. Your passion just continued to blossom, I guess, in that area.
It did, and I've certainly got to know some pilots, and military, non-military, some great pilots, and that helped. And I think my dad was slightly concerned when I started. You know, I didn't start till 2001, and so he was a little bit concerned about the whole thing. I took him up a couple times. That was interesting. A man always used to being in control, having no control whatsoever. I'm like, Dad, just please don't touch the rudder pedals. Don't touch anything. Just look for other planes. So he was good. I flew him to Ocala for a meeting up there he had, and I flew him back. And there was, you know, typical summer afternoon, so it was starting to get a little bumpy with big clouds and whatever else. But I think he enjoyed it. But I think at least that let him see that you can minimize risks in flying and make it a very safe thing.
Is it a relaxing place for you to escape to as well?
It is. It is. And, you know, I'm instrument rated, so although I don't fly enough really now to fly in bad weather, I never do that. I do like to put what they call the hood on, which is a pair of glasses you essentially can't see through. All you can see is the instruments. Shoot instrument approaches, do things like that. I enjoy that. But, I enjoy just being up there and going to different airports and practice landings. And
you got a phone call recently that a lot of Yankee fans wish that phone call was never, ever going to come. Yeah. Derek Jeter calls you, tells you, this is going to be it, 2014, I'm going to retire. You're the first person outside of his immediate family to hear those words. What did you think? What did you say back to him? I
was surprised. As I said, I figured he was calling just to talk about the team. We have had conversations in the past. So I was surprised, but I told him, look, you know, I know you've put a lot of thought into this, of course, and because of that, of course, I respect it. Told him what he meant to the organization, told him what he meant to the family, what he meant to my father. I mean, you know, all obvious stuff, but all true. And I just said, just however you want to do it, I'll keep it quiet. And you do it the way you want to do it, and whatever you need from us along the way, we'll be here.
Did you get a kick out of him at the press conference, giving you a little tweak by saying, I tried to call Mr. Steinbrenner, I tried to call Hal the night before?
I've got to admit, guilty to that. I was an unknown number, I didn't know what it was, so I didn't take the call, and then I was at dinner at NYY Steak. And I forgot to check my voicemail. So he texted me the next morning, which is normally how somebody does it. So, oh well, that was my bad. I called him right back the next morning when I got the text.
Jeter wanted to get that message through to you, so
I knew that would come out sooner or later.
What did you think about his press conference, which he wanted to call a Q&A, but what came across to me was that, yes, he is leaving after 2014, but he wanted to make sure the theme of that day was, we still have to worry about 2014, meaning he and the players. There's still business to be done.
Well, particularly for him after last year. I mean, I think, like he said, and he told me this on the phone too, he said, you know, I know everybody says this, but I feel like I'm in the best shape of my life. I mean, he really worked on strengthening the muscles around that injury. And I think that's going to make a big difference. And I think he's going to have a great year.
What do you think his legacy will be as a Yankee? How will he be remembered?
Well, along with the greats, Jack, of course. I mean, you know, just a class act. Great on the field, great off the field, great leader by example, and a great player. I mean, he's the perfect package, the whole deal.
What kind of expectations do you have for the 2014 team?
I'm excited. I know I say that every year, but I'm excited. I think we brought in some really good veterans that have been there, done that. They're tough, they're seasoned, and I think with some of our young kids and the players we already have, I mean, I think it's going to be a great year. I'm excited.
I want to keep you excited. When we're little kids and we're boys, we all had these. We all had baseball cards.
That's right.
I've got a couple of packs of 2014 baseball cards.
All right. So who can I get? Who's the big guy?
You know, Trout's on the cover, but I would think you want Yankees. You want your guys.
I would think I would, yes.
And we're going to debate. Let's see who got which card, and see maybe if we can get an MVP or a Cy Young Award winner in here.
There we go. Look at that. See, I already got you beat, don't I?
Yeah, this was not planned. He got a Jeter. This is unbelievable.
That's just, look, I even got a special Jeter. See? Jack, you're really...
this is unbelievable.
And Mike Trout.
Anybody watching this is going to think that this was staged, and it wasn't.
There you go.
You already got two Jeters. It's
Soriano.
Over. You got a Soriano.
I don't know.
I'm checking out with Jurickson Profar. He's an up-and-coming player. I got Matt Lindstrom. I got John Lester. That's not one that you want.
You lose. Good man, but you lose this one, I'm afraid.
I got Boone Logan, former Yankee. You got two Jeters, a Soriano, a Mike Trout, and a Yu Darvish. I guess you get all the cards.
Okay. Well, I knew you opened baseball cards on the show, so I bought something very special. The years I collected started in '76, my favorite year, and through the years I bought in some packs to save for my kids and my grandkids to hopefully open. So I brought a pack of unopened 1976 Topps baseball.
Wow.
Gum included.
Wow.
This will be the rookie year for Randolph or Ron Guidry.
And I get to open them?
You get to open it, of course.
You are the first guest that has ever brought me
I know.
cards
Well, see, that's
and
because
or
I got a
gifts.
heads up. I love this stuff.
Hal,
Okay?
I do have one question to ask, though.
You won't eat the gum?
I don't have to eat the gum, do I?
No, you don't eat the
I
gum.
don't have to eat the gum.
I wouldn't do that to
I'll
you.
put that
Although it is
aside.
in one piece.
Mike Tyson, not the boxer, the
Not
former
boxer.
Cardinals infielder.
Yeah.
Robin Yount,
Yeah, there
a
we
Hall
go.
of Famer.
Second-year card. Yeah.
Wow. Now we got the checklist card.
Yeah, well. That's
Johnny Oates was a great man and a great manager. Wow. Bill Bonham, I remember his name.
Yep.
Bob Coluccio, I do not remember him.
No.
Tom Carroll. Terry Crowley became a hitting coach. Bob Alietta and Leron Lee.
Wow.
Lee.
All right.
But you know what?
Robin Yount does it.
Robin Yount, Hall of Famer.
There you go.
That's a victory.
And a piece of gum.
And a piece of gum
Which
for the
you're not
road.
going to eat. Yep.
Hal, I
All right.
appreciate the time.
Absolutely.
Thanks a lot.
All right, Jack. Be good.